Sometimes you just want to jump into a mecha and blow stuff up. While you won't have to look far to find a game that provides this experience, I can't seem to enjoy having a variety of options. It seems indie developer Rocket Punch Games has heard my plea and brought their 2D mecha action game, Hardcore Mecha, to the Switch. Even with the portability, there's a couple of wires crossed in this build. Hardcore Mecha is a mecha-themed action side-scroller that stars a mech pilot named Tartha who works for a mercenary group called the Hardcore Defense Corps. The UNF has hired them to hunt down a famous mech pilot named Lieutenant Avla Tana Kiruno, man, it's a funny name, who has gone missing on Mars. The job is supposed to be nothing more than to confirm her safety and get her to contact the nearest relay station to report back to the UNF. If only it were that easy. Tartha and his teammate Edgar stumble upon a terrorist group who have some very violent goals and need to be subdued. Unfortunately, this group was only a much smaller part of a much bigger organization with some generic evil plot that involves taking over the world. The story then puts you in the control of Tartha and his mech, the Thunderbolt S, to complete this growing list of objectives. On the Switch, you'll use the Y button to fire your main gun, controlled by the left stick, the L button to use a chest-mounted gun, the A and X are both tied to melee attacks. Melee attacks use individual cooldowns, allowing for a 3-hit rush and some sort of electrical smash. You can jump with the B button and hold it to move around in midair until your boost gauge runs out, whilst using the L button for an omnidirectional boost, which drains it even faster. 90% of the time, the goal is to go right and kill a bunch of dudes before you can move on. Occasionally, you'll acquire access to temporary extra weapons or skill packs, such as health kits or mountable shields to mix up your strategies and take down some terrorists. Additionally, you'll be presented with some sequences in which the mech will be unusable, forcing you to play as just Tartha, who has a pistol and a handy dodge roll at his disposal. The visuals of Hardcore Mecha are fantastic. The mechs, enemies, and animations are highly detailed and smooth despite the chibi art style. The character designs also stand out during the visual novel style story segments, which also have all of their lines voiced. Unfortunately, the story is rather generic and the characters aren't really ever given much time for depth or exploration, as it really just checks the boxes for known character tropes. It's just missing a Char clone. The story itself can also become tedious as it is less interesting and some levels add more padding without changing how the game plays. Strangely, you will have to complete the story to unlock simulation mode. This is a great mode to fight wave after wave of enemies to earn money to unlock different mecha to play as with their own little upgrade paths. Regardless, the soundtrack is awesome. The Switch version, however, does have a few bugs that can lead to the game crashing after completing a level. If this happens, you'll have to replay the entire chapter and hope it doesn't happen again. Hardcore Mecha does feature some pretty interesting boss fights that double down on just how fun it is to pin two powerful mechs against each other. The bosses can also be significantly larger, with levels containing stage hazards, which cause you to do your best to read the attack patterns and rely on your skills to take them out properly. I really wouldn't have minded if the campaign centered more around these boss fights and less around taking down individual grunts. There's also a basic free-for-all multiplayer mode. You can either coordinate a room with your friends to customize specific game types, or just jump into a free-for-all fight with randoms. You do have the ability to switch up your mechs and pilot in the multiplayer mode, and you can unlock extra mechs and skins during the basic gameplay reward loop too. However, it is frustrating to see that all of the story characters are paid DLC. Hardcore Mecha provides you with all the tools needed to scratch that mech action itch. While the main campaign lacks narrative and creativity, the core gameplay is solid and it finds its way into the boss encounters and multiplayer mode. There's definitely room for some quality patches that would improve the experience, but a few fun hours are packed into this title for mecha fans. Noisy Pixel is giving Hardcore Mecha a 6.5 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. Noisy Pixel is a group dedicated to bringing you guys the best news video previews and more. Please stick around by watching our other videos and looking at the other good mecha titles we have reviewed. We're looking at Robotics Notes and 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim.